My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. Jacob and I are going to break down our bets for UFC San Diego. This is what we've done with our money. And speaking of money, if you want to get ahead of some of these betting lines and you want access to our bets earlier, days, weeks, sometimes even months in advance, go to WeWantPicks.com and click Become a Member at the top. We put all of our bets real time up there for you. So right now we're recording this on a Friday, and these lines have moved. And we're ahead of a bunch of them, just like we were last week. We've done that again. So if you want access to our safety parlay, you want access to these bets very early so that you can get ahead of the general public in the line movement, WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. That's $2.50 per week. You hit one of these bets, and I imagine you're going to pay for many, many months of membership. WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. And if you want $50 to really kick off your membership, go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. We have 5 different betting partners. Sign up with any one of them, make a deposit, and I send you $50. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, however you want it. I send you $50 as a thank you for supporting us and our partners. That's WeWantPicks.com/bets. So let's jump right in, Jakey boy. So I've had a lot of these bets for a while. I placed these bets a while ago, and I've got some favorable line movement. So right out of the gate, Bruno Silva fighting Gerald Muirshart. Bruno Silva is coming off that loss to Alex Pereira, but he honestly looked good in that loss, and Alex Pereira might be champion in a few months. So Bruno Silva, insane power in his hands. His cardio looks very improved, got takedowns, and definitely has jiu-jitsu, so jiu-jitsu defense against the very chinny Gerald Muirshart. I got it at minus 260 through 2 units on that, and that's flexed up to minus 280. I think come fight night, that's going to flex even more and get even worse for you. Ode Osborne, he's fighting Tyson Nam. Tyson Nam hasn't fought in a year and a half. He's getting up there in age, relies way too heavily on his power. And while he has insane power, Ode Osborne is going to be the better fighter, the better striker, faster, also has his own power, especially at 125 pounds. I got him at minus 220. That has flexed up to minus 270. So again, I've been very fortunate. I'm ahead of 2 of these lines. I went Priscilla Cachoeira. I did a full flip on my pick here. I liked Ariana Lipski last week, but she missed weight, couldn't fight on fight night. Yes, this is at catch weight, so she's not going to have to cut all the way down, but there's no way she's 100%. Priscilla Cachoeira is very tough, has always been very tough. I did a little, that's supposed to say half a unit, not 1.5 units. That's a typo. Half of a unit on Priscilla Cachoeira at plus 160. And then Lupita Godinez, we were all foaming at the mouth, frothing, waiting for that line to drop because I think we're all 100% positive that Lupita Godinez is going to steamroll Angela Hill. I think she's just a bunch of takedowns, a bunch of bullying. I do two units on her at minus 360. That line is basically there. It went down and then came right back up. So that's where the line is now. We'll see what happens on fight night, but not as much movement as I expected. And then I've had this prop bet for 2 weeks. Bet Online has a prop called most takedowns. So in this fight, Jason Witt versus Josh Quinlan, whoever gets more takedowns wins the prop. And if there's 0 takedowns or they tie, you get a refund. I did Jason Witt, obviously, right? He is the dominant wrestler in this matchup. Josh Quinlan doesn't wrestle. I got him at minus 325. I threw 2 units on it immediately. Right now it's minus 425. I still think that's a great value. Again, we were ahead of the line movement, and premium members got access to that nice and early. So become a premium member, because when you do, you will also get access to our safety parlay. It's a 2, 3, and 4 leg safety parlay. We've hit 3 out of the last 4, and last week we only missed 1 leg of it. The other 3 legs hit. Minus 124 for the base, plus 157 when you had the 3rd leg, and plus 306 when you had the 4th leg. If you become a premium member, you'll have access to that parlay. I dropped that depending on the week and depending on the fighter. We dropped that nice and early. I actually have the UFC 278 parlay already up there ready to go because I'm very confident in that. And there's already been line movement there. So I know you guys hate when I push, but become a premium member at WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10. It'll pay for itself if any one of these bets hit. Jackie boy, what do you got going on?
Yeah, let's start with lock of the week, Mr. Nate the Train. I actually kind of fooled myself and screwed myself in getting these odds because I think he's like at plus 270 now. I went on Bet Online. I saw him at plus 205, and I went on best fight odds. And I looked at the odds of all the books, and it was like plus 165, plus 175. So I thought the odds were going down, so I jumped at 205. So if you like Nate the Train, lock of the week, we're going for 7 weeks in a row, which is just absolutely insane, unheard of. Guinness Book of World Records is out. They're gonna watch the fights with me. I cannot wait to be in that book. That was a fun book as a kid. I mean, you go to the library, you get Guinness Book of World Records, and you look at that book. Longest fingernails, the whole deal. Yeah, Nate Laneware, lock of the week, plus 205, 2 units, get 4.1 back. Then another big underdog. He was going to be my lock of the week, but I changed my mind. I think Nate was a little bit more safe. But Charlie, man, I mean, he's facing Mowgli, who got knocked out in his last fight, is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. This is definitely a flyer. He is a kill or be killed guy, but he's a wild dude against a guy that's shown he's got chin issues lately. So I took a flyer here, 1.5, yes, at plus 275. The next
big flyer.
It is a big flyer, but we're feeling good, looking good. I'm shining bright like the sun out here. The next two are going to be Loopy, man. I'm a big. I've been on Loopy for over a year now. She will be the champion one day, probably next year at some point. The way she's going, I got her money line minus 360, same as Angela. 3.6 units, get a unit back, and the best value I think on this card is Loopy minus 3.5. You're only going to find these 3.5. Bets on Bet Online, so sign up. Go to WeWantPicks.com/bet. Sign up, get you $50 free. Minus 3.5 at minus 190. What?
I was just going to explain what the minus 3.5 was.
Yeah, I was going to go into it a little bit. But
go ahead.
Yeah, minus 3.5. Basically, we think that Loopy's going to win. And we think she's going to win in dominant fashion. So, the minus 3.5, she just needs to win 30-27 on all 3 judges' scorecards or win inside the distance. And I think we see that definitely playing out that way. She dominates every single round. I don't see her dropping around. Could even get a finish. Angela Hill is tough, but I assume that she's going to dominate the fight. So, instead of the money line at minus 360, which I also have, I also got minus 190 for Loopy, who should absolutely dominate that matchup. I put 3.8 units on that to get 2 units back. I am all in on Loopy. Over 7 units on her this week. So if she loses, I'm going to be homeless. Please donate. And they got Devin Clark. Devin Clark, not a big fan of Angelo on Twitter this week. I think he wins the fight, but I only need him to win 1 round. This is the opposite of the minus 3.5. This is plus 3.5. He just needs to win 1 round on all 3 judges' scorecards, or win the fight by decision, or get a finish on his own. I think he's very tough. He showed that. He got his teeth absolutely busted in against Ian Kutalaba, kept fighting. The guy is tough, and I think Azamat is kind of an overinflated prospect. I didn't like him against Tafan, so I got Devin Clark. All he needs to do is win a round, and I win my bet minus 115. Only a unit on that. Benitez Anantaveras, this is Mowgli and Charlie, does not go the distance. Fight does not go the distance. That's what all those acronym letters mean. Minus 350. I knew as soon as I saw this matchup, I was going to, as soon as they dropped these prop bets and the fight does not go the distance, I was going to jump all over this. We got that for the premium members at minus 350. It is now minus 450. I put another 3.5 units on that to get a unit back. I absolutely love that bet because both these dudes are going to be throwing wild. And Charlie either gets a finish or he gets finished. Priscilla inside the distance, this is no action. Again, this is the same thing kind of Angelo was saying and playing. I didn't flip all the way to from Ariane to Priscilla, but I think she is definitely the more dangerous fighter. And if Ariane wins, it's probably going to be a decision, which means I get my money back. Or if Priscilla throws up big looping shots, takes one to give one, is able to put Ariane on her heels and get the finish, I'm going to get paid. So Ariane wins a decision, get my money back. Priscilla wins a decision, get my money back. Priscilla wins inside the distance. I hit this bet, plus 125, only a unit on that. O'Day and Tyson Nam, under 2.5. I took the under 2.5 because they took forever to drop the props for it does not go the distance. I think it's minus 150. So they had under 2.5 available. I think O'Day with his big power is able to find the chin of Tyson Nam and finds it early the way that he throws. So I took the under 2.5 at minus 105. I would probably rather play that does not go the distance, but it's minus 150, and that's only 2.5 more minutes. So I probably got the better value here. 2.1 units, get 2 units back. This is another one, Zalaw. And there was a member in the Discord. Join our Discord. There was a member in our Discord that alerted us and alerted me to this bet. Zalaw should be definitely the wrestler in this matchup, 100% versus Blackshear. And most takedowns landed. The same bet that Angelo got and the same analysis that he gave for Jason Witt, the wrestler in that matchup. you can get it for plus 185. And if there's no takedowns, you get your money back. Zala should definitely be the wrestler in this matchup, coming down in weight. I can see him using his wrestling effectively. Plus 185. How about 2 units on that to get 3.7 units back? Go ahead.
Zalal and Witt could both get knocked out, flatline, steamrolled, and you can still hit the bet as long as it's only takedowns. Doesn't matter who wins, how they win, who loses, as long as they get more takedowns.
Right.
And it's more takedowns than the other person. That's it.
Right. Yeah. It's not a number. You're not trying to hit a number. It's not over unders. It's a nice bet. I'm glad they're starting to add these, and I think this is a pretty good value. Zalal 135.
They do max out. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
Okay.
They do max out. I think you can only win $100. So they do max out the payout. But $100 is $100. It's still free money, essentially, or risk-free money on some of these.
Right. And then the next one is the fight does not go the distance. This is probably the one flyer type bet, but I think these girls really get after it. The main card, I think it's the featured fight of the main card. I think these girls really go after it. Yasmine versus Lucinda. Yasmine has shown that she can put girls away in this division. I think Lucinda is going to be a little bit tougher than people expect, but I think these girls really go after it, and somebody finds a finish. It probably is Yasmine. Plus 130 on that, so I got a unit on that at 1.3 units, and looking good, feeling good. This is going to be another successful week for We Want Picks.
Yeah, those are all of our bets. You see we had some favorable line movement here. So, again, become a premium member. It is only $10 a month. We literally are trying to build the best value in all of MMA, whether it's betting content, fantasy content, or more. It's $10 a month. We are not going to change that price point. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. And don't forget, you want your 50 free? WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners. Make a deposit. We send you $50. Hopefully we keep this money train rolling, Jakey boy. And join Jacob live for the fights on Saturday.